Yes, people, what's happening? I just made a video about how I book 69 cold calls every single week. It's a system that you need to set up in order to book the calls. And then after this video, I'm going to drop some other videos about the scripts, the training, and just hell over fire content about booking like literally 69 meetings a week with cold calling. Anyone can do it. I've had a new student join like a week ago, and in his first week he booked 32 appointments using this exact system. So I do recommend anyone trying out and using it. It's something I learned about, I don't know, 4 years ago when I worked for a marketing agency doing cold calling, and then I became a closer, and that's how I got into the agency game. But anyway, the video is like an hour and a half long, so I recommend watching it all the way through and just like implementing the steps. It's broken down into chunks. So you can literally like watch the step, pause it, do it, watch the next step, pause it, do it. So yeah, if you like it, just like it on YouTube or subscribe. But yeah, peace. People, what's happening? This is actually the second time I'm recording this video. I recorded the first one and I chopped off half of it. I don't know how I done it, but yeah, it just didn't upload properly. So in this video today, guys, I'm gonna be running through as quick as I can on how to book an extra 69 meetings a week with cold calling. I'm gonna go over like the essentials you need. I'm gonna go over some tips, how to manage everything, how to like essentially get someone to replace you if that's what you're looking to do. But if you're on your own and you generally want to book 69 meetings a week with cold calling, or you want to add an extra 69, this video is definitely for you. So just make sure you pay attention, and yeah, let's just jump straight into it. So first of all, guys, I'm gonna leave a copy of this down below. I'll leave it so you guys can go and make your own copy. Maybe you might want to edit some bits slightly. I personally wouldn't, but if you do want to make some changes, like that's your own fault. The resource as well, I'm going to be going over Skype. Now, when I first started back in like 2019, 2018, I use an app called Tells. Tells went off the map for a while. I think it's back now. I don't know how much it costs nowadays, but Skype is always going to be the cheaper option for you guys. It's also a lot easier. You really don't want to be one of these people that uses your phone each and every single day. So get yourself a microphone like I have here. You can get a decent one off Amazon, or personally, if I was just starting out, I'll just go straight to eBay. You can find a second-hand one for like £50. Really not expensive whatsoever. And you can make cold calls from your laptop computer, and you can have a decent mic so the sound is a lot more clearer. With Skype, you can also give your login details to like team members and stuff. So if you have an appointment setter that's doing cold calling for you guys, you don't need to go and set them up. You can set it up yourself and give them your details and stuff like that, right? You can do it from any country. It says worldwide on Skype. I got the worldwide one, but it wasn't worldwide because when I was in Albania seeing a virtual assistant of mine, I couldn't call back to the UK with that Skype number. So do your research. I obviously didn't do my research correctly, but I'll show you guys a little kind of hack around it anyway. First of all, what you guys are going to need to do though is click this link here, and then you need to go and create a Microsoft account. If you don't know, get to know, but Microsoft actually owns Skype, so you need to create an account with them. Then next, you want to download Skype. You can use this link here. I've tried to make it as easy as possible for you. Again, I've got a Mac. I don't know what computer you've got, but whatever one you've got, just go and click that. All right. And then what you want to do is refer back to the Skype download page, and then you can click sign in up the top right. It literally says sign in at the top right, so just sign in and do that. You want to log into it with the Microsoft account you've created though, so make sure you obviously do that. And then you want to add a subscription, and then find the best subscription for you. If you're in the US, get a US subscription. If you're in the UK, get a worldwide subscription. If you're in like Eastern Europe, whatever, right? I would just go straight and get like a worldwide one. But what I would do is put like $10 on some Skype credit, because if you can't call to a certain country, I think it's going to cost you like 5 pence, 5 cents, wherever you are in the world, right, to actually make calls around the world. Each call is only going to be like 10-20 minutes max. So for like 5 cents, yeah, it's just something that I think you guys should definitely do. And then this $10 will probably last you a month, 2 months. Like it's really not expensive whatsoever. You can also send like messages out with the Skype app as well. This is why I love it. I will get my team to log into Skype for me, and if I miss anyone's call or they miss mine, whatever, I can get my virtual assistant to reply back to all the messages. She can just log in and send messages, right? And yeah, another thing as well, get 2 numbers. Ideally, you want 3. but you can start off with two. I know most people that watch YouTube, probably the budgets aren't quite big, but I would honestly go and get two numbers. Back in the day, I had two phones. One was meant to be for personal, one was meant to be for business, but it never worked out like that. I use both for business. So the reason I have two numbers is when I was doing cold calling, a lot of people would ghost you and not answer your call and stuff like that, right? So it's always good to get a number that they don't know. And then when you do get ghosted, you can just call them back and be like, "Hey, you're right, it's Andre. Just give me a quick call. He wasn't answering my call, so I thought I'd call you on a different number. And yeah, you're here now anyway. So, and then get into it, right? So that's always a great advantage. Again, I would have three. I would have a couple of US numbers and then the UK number as well. If you're in the UK and you're calling US, this is a mistake I made when first starting out. I didn't care about the number coming up on their screen. It wasn't a thought in my mind. So I was having to make way more calls to get people to answer. So yeah, just be mindful that if you're in the UK and you're calling US and they see an English number, they're going to be like, who the fuck is this? So they're probably not going to answer. And I always recommend going straight for the States as well. Especially anyone in the UK. Like if you're from England and you call the United States, you've got such an unfair advantage compared to everyone in the States because our accents stand out so more and they just like English people. It's very strange. I mean, and you can charge 2-3 times your service over in America as well. So I'd recommend just going straight for the States, in my personal opinion. If you want to work locally, you can, but you're going to get way more clients in the States, and you're going to have a more successful agency. When I say more successful, you're going to be able to travel a lot more because I end up moving to Mexico because I had loads of US clients. I was like, I want to go over to their time zone, but I don't want to live in America because I know I wanted to live in South America, pretty Latinas. You get the vibe, right? So I just ended up moving to Mexico City and Roma. There's a place in Mexico City called Roma. It's unreal. It's so pretty, so clean. And yeah, it's just probably one of the sickest places I've been to. So little plug there for you guys. Also as well, moving on anyway, when you log into the Skype app on your Mac or your PC or laptop or whatever, yeah, like I said here, just get yourself a decent microphone. Any advice on what microphones to get? Everyone uses Blue Yetis. I personally don't want to get a Blue Yeti because I don't want to look like everyone else. I know it's silly, but I just don't want to be labeled like everyone else. I know it's only a microphone, no one really cares. But I went and got a Blue Snowball. I made sure it was a white one as well. I think it looks more clean. But go and get yourself some sort of blue, like the brand Blue microphone, or just got Amazon. Can get headphones. I don't like the quality of the sounds when you're talking to someone through headphones. It just sounds a bit shit in my opinion. So I would recommend just going and get a microphone if you want to get headphones so you can hear them better. Like do your thing. I personally don't like working with headphones on, but I know a lot of people do. So that's that. In terms of call recording software, this is something that needs to be done. I don't see many people talking about this, and it really baffles my mind. So there's a website called Ecamm. I think I linked it here. Yeah, I linked it here. So this basically allows you to record your calls on Skype. The reason this is so important, especially when you're first starting out, is because how are you meant to know where you can improve if you can't listen back your calls, right? What you want to do as well, something I made the mistake of, I just pressed let it record, and I would start recording loads of voicemails and stuff like that, and it was just annoying to go through and find the calls that I actually wanted to listen to. So I found out if I scheduled it in for 30 seconds once the call answers, then you miss all the voicemails and you can just listen to the actual conversation. So that was a little life hack I learned. If you don't have Mac and you have Windows, I don't know what to do with that. I've never used Windows. So you can just go and Google call recording for Skype on Windows, for instance, and I'm sure within 5 minutes you'll be able to find something in there. And yeah, my point really mainly with this is, guys, you need to understand how to fix things. So if you're new to cold calling and you're making loads of calls and no one's booking a meeting or no one's showing up and you don't know what's going on, you don't know how to fix it. If you come and ask someone for advice, say me, because I get asked for advice a lot, they always try to explain what all these different people said, and because they can't remember, because they're only human, they're a robot. They can't say everything how they said it in that tone of voice, right? So I have to take people's word for it, and I can't take people's word for it, you know? So like you need to have your calls recorded. And like when in all of my sales jobs all the way back in like 2016 and 2017, 2018, right? Even when I worked for Martin Agency in 2018, all the way up until from 2017 up until like early 2019, I worked for two different agencies, like an office agency in Ipswich, in like near my local town, and then I worked for a remote agency called 808. And I was doing setting and closing for both. So like setting and closing in the office, like in the daytime, and then going home and then working remotely for that agency in the evening. And they all recorded everything. Like everything had to be recorded, all your like cold calls, also all the messages you can read through, and then specifically all the meetings as well. Because how is the owner meant to help me improve if he doesn't know where I'm going wrong or what I'm doing, right? So to me, I've always been taught to record everything. And every Sunday, I'll then go back and then I'll then go back and then I'll listen to all the calls. For instance, when I was first starting out, like I'll listen to all my sales calls, listen to all my close calls, and like any successful person in like, for instance, sports or whatever, like footballers, basketball people, right? They all go and study their games and stuff. It's the same shit. Like if you want to get really sick at this, you're going to have to like look at all your work and then like analyze, I can do this better, I can say this better, let me do this more, let me do less of this, you know? And if you do ask some random stranger on the internet, like a guru or whatever, for advice, and you can't go and give them your work, they can't really help you. Like they're going to give you like an overall answer that isn't going to be like beneficial for you guys. So if you are going to message me on social medias, because a lot of people do, can you actually bring something to me rather than just saying, hey, I can't get clients, I don't know what's going on, how can you help? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, how am I meant to know how I can help? Like, I'm not a genie, am I? I can't see into the future. I haven't got X-ray vision, you know? So like, do yourself a favor. If you want support, make it easier for someone to help you, you know? So that's that. Also as well in the cold calling places, we were making like 200 to 300 calls a day. And every single morning, if we had a bad day, the manager or the owner would be going through all of our call logs in the evening, listen to all the calls. And then when we come in the morning, he'd have a whole list of what we can improve on. So like, I do this for my clients anyway, but if you are going to make a decision where you do want someone to like help you one-to-one instead of like purchasing a course or whatever, try find a program similar to ours, and I'll plug myself, of course, but try find a program where they can actually analyze all your work rather than just giving you advice, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's that anyway. If you message me, this is for a lot of the guys in the community, but if you do message me saying you can't book meetings, no one's showing up, and you try to explain to me like what's going on, but obviously you don't know what's going on, so you can't explain it, the only thing I'm going to tell you to do is go make 100 more cold calls, like speak to 100 more people, record every single one, and then bring that data to me. That's all I'm going to tell you, right? So just please don't bother me if you haven't got something I can help you improve on. Anyway, also as well, guys, this is for a lot of people in the community, but I know this is going to go on YouTube as well. Cold calling workshops are every single Wednesday at 2 p.m. London time. So if you are available from 2 till 4 p.m. on Wednesday, 2 p.m. London time, we host cold calling workshops where I try to get as many people on a call as possible. And then I have most people on mute apart from one person. I'll go through the list and I'll just listen to people cold call so I can actually give them practical advice and show them where they're going wrong. We always have a rule as well. The first person there who gets there early and has all the data that I need, I'll actually make a few cold calls for you and book some meetings for you so I can show you how it's done. I like cold calling. It's something I'm really good at. And I enjoy getting back in the field as much as physically possible for tons of different niches. To me, the niche doesn't really matter. It's just a fun experience. And if I can book a lot of people some meetings, it's just a sick day, right? So if you're on a community, please come and join them programs. If you're not in a community and you want to join, like shoot me a message. And let's see if you got the time to even make it. Cool. So that's that. So in terms of CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. This is just how you're going to keep track of everything, right? So to keep it 100% with all of you guys watching this, I have never used a spreadsheet for keeping track of like outreach, apart from like messages and stuff like that, right? But with cold calling, I don't understand how people keep it organized because you're always leaving different notes. And it's like, when I've gone and looked at other people's spreadsheets, they're like scrolling. Oh, where'd I put this? Oh, where's that? And it's like, how can you remember all of this, you know? So it's like if you call someone 10 times a day and you spoke to them 5 times a day and you have to remember everything you said in bullet point here, you're going to have some huge notes on this little spreadsheet tab. It just, yeah, I don't know. I personally don't know how people do it. Anyone that has got any advice for me, feel free to let me know. But I'm just going to use a CRM because that's what it's made for, you know? So yeah, if you are going to come to me, guys, for advice on how to use a spreadsheet, I don't know what I'm doing with a spreadsheet, so don't ask me. But if you do want help with a CRM, like I've got everything built out ready to go for you guys. In terms of the CRM as well, in terms of the spreadsheet as well, in terms of the CRM as well, the ones that I would go for, I would go for Pipedrive. I used Pipedrive for a couple of years back in the day. It's like the most easiest beginner-friendly one that I personally use. I used a few like HubSpot and stuff. Pipedrive just seemed the most easiest one to use for me personally. I use Go High Level now, but I actually need to have Go High Level. A lot of the ancient owners just starting out, you've been brainwashed into buying free trials for Go High Level. Like YouTubers are like, yeah, click my link. You need this. You don't need it. Like, why the fuck would you need Go High Level? You got no clients. It doesn't make any logical sense. You know, you don't need any of that shit. People are setting up their website and their logo. And the time you set up your website and logo, someone else has got their first client with no website, no logo. Because who's going to ask for your website? No one. Who's going to ask to see your logo? Hi, can you let me see your logo? Never heard that in my whole entire like marketing experience since 2017. So like focus on the right things, which is like building a good offer and going and get clients, right? But anyway, my point is, right, if you're starting out, Go High Level makes no sense. Stop buying into these people's like I respect everyone's hustle, but like stop buying into someone's free trial when you can go and get it cheaper and get a free trial going straight to the source. So just go and get Pipedrive. I think it's 20 British pounds. I've left a link to it here. When I was like getting the link for this, I come across this as well. I don't know if these work. I've never tried it, but I know most people on here watching this are broke. So it's like maybe one of these can save you some money. Again, I've never used it, but maybe there's like a little discount in there for you. Pipedrive will take about 30 minutes to set up. Like it's made for like 12-year-olds, right? Basically, pretty much, I guess. So yeah, just go and use Pipedrive. You do get a 14-day free trial. You're going to need the paid version though, because you're going to need to set reminders and tasks. This is another thing, like when you have a spreadsheet, say you spoke to Susan at 2:00 on Thursday and she told you to call her back on Wednesday at 11:30 and you had a specific conversation and you need to talk to her about this and you need to ask for this person. How the fuck are you going to remember all of that when you speak to 100 new people every single day? You're not, and then you're going to have to power through the spreadsheet. Oh yeah, I forgot about this person. Let me call her. No, with Pipedrive, you can like leave all your notes, set a task, like a reminder, and then you'll get a notification on that day saying, speak to Leslie about this thing. Here's the link to like her profile, and here's all the notes, and here's the conversation, and then here's the call logs, So like, yeah, it's just Pipedrive's such a much better option. And with High Level, you can listen to all the calls back and everything. I know, but there are much more cost-effective ways and simpler ways when you're first starting out. A High Level is a super distraction as well. Like when you're starting out, everything's new, everything's exciting, but the main thing you need is a CRM. You don't need all the other shit that comes with it. It's not shit. I rate High Level. I need it. But to someone who's just starting out, I don't think it makes any sense in my opinion. Anyway, so the details you're going to need to keep, and I'm going to show you an example of what your Pipedrive needs to look like. But the details you're going to need to have are as follows. So you're going to need the business owner's first name, and you're also going to need the front of house receptionist names as well. You're going to need the owner's email address, and you're going to need the owner's personal mobile number, not their landline, not press 5. And when you get to the office, not that number. You need business owner's personal number, and I'll go through how to get it in a sec. You're also gonna it's also gonna benefit you having like a fun fact about the owner in the front of house. When I say fun fact, it doesn't mean they learn how to ride a bike when they are 4. You just need to be a little bit of a stalker and just find something you can talk about, right? And why it makes you different, and more to the point, it shows you actually give a fuck. You're gonna have to have clear notes on what happened each call. Don't be the person that doesn't know shit about what happened and you make yourself look like a fool. What I mean by this is you call someone and you're like, oh, you again? Like, I already spoke to you. And you're like, oh shit, what did I speak to this person about? Because I've done that a lot of times. So I learned from my mistakes, right? So you want to bullet point the main things that you spoke about and you need to speak about. Don't type a whole paragraph, which I've done into the CRM before, and then I'm having to read loads of paragraphs each time I want to make a call. Just some quick, easy bullet points that a 12-year-old can understand. And you want to think about the future as well, because it's not just going to be you managing all of this. Eventually, you're going to bring in team members and stuff. And when new team members join, you have a huge call log and you have a huge CRM full of clients and ideal clients that you might have spoke to 2, 3, 6, 12 months ago. So you can get your appointment setters just to go all the way down to the bottom of that, scroll eventually till they get to the bottom, and then work back upwards, So, and they can go through all the notes and learn more about the people that they're speaking to. And now when they approach them, they're going to have loads of ammunition to go and book in that call. And it's going to do you a huge favor putting in the hard work now so you can be more successful in the future. So with the CRM, you really want to treat it like it's the new love of your life. Like the CRM is now your Bible, your Quran, your girlfriend, your husband, your everything, right? When you wake up in the morning, the first thing you think about is CRM. When you go into bed, probably shouldn't say this, but when you go into bed, you need to think about, all right, I'm going to smash that CRM in the morning. Yeah, she's going to get it, or however you want to think about it, right? But my point is, guys, the CRM needs to be like your baby, your lifeline. It needs to be your everything, because this is what's going to make you a lot of dough if you get this correctly. So just make sure you do this, and CRMs will benefit you with having onboard clients. The amount of people I see, they have quite a few clients and they're doing pretty well, but everything's just a fucking mess. They don't know. They're speaking to clients, and then when they speak to the client, they're trying to remember, what was the last conversation I had with this person? I can't remember. Oh, yeah. Bro, write this shit down in your CRM and set a fucking reminder. So when next time you speak to Simon about this, you've got from the first moment you contacted him in the outreach to the final moment him signing up and the onboarding call, you've got all the notes all in one place. You keep it organized. Like, you're going to do yourself a huge favor. Now moving on. So let me read this correctly. So what you want to do is, well, I should say this to be fair. So from the jump, right, from like the get-go, from the start, you're not going to have all the details you need. So what you need to do is you need to make it your mission to go and get these details. What I mean by that is, like, you're not going to get the owner's personal number, most likely. You're definitely you may not know a fun fact about the front of house or the owner, right? This is going to take like some time to get in there, right? So I'll go into this in a sec, right? But you've got 100 leads. Most people called 100 leads. 70 people don't answer. 28 people say no. They book 2 meetings. It's not good, but it's a lot of people's situation. And then they think they need more leads. But you haven't got a yes or no from everyone, right? So with me, what I've been taught when I was working for like the cold calling centers and agencies and stuff, I would never move on from a lead until I get yes or no. I'll call you 10, 20, 30 times a day. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to get the meeting, or I'm going to get a no, or I'm going to get blocked. Either way is fine, but it's just so important that each time you call back, you get more ammunition. Like, the owner's not going to be there a lot of the times on your phone. So when you are speaking to the front of house and the reception team, you are going to learn more things about the owner, about them. You're going to have a chat with them, get to know them, make them laugh, whatever. Just be a nice person to speak to, and you're going to have all the ammunition written down. So you phone in for the 7th time, normally they'll get pissed off. Hi, Leslie, you're right, Andre again. We spoke yesterday, and by the way, I checked out like Tenerife from that hotel you say that. It looks unreal. I can't wait to take my mom there. Like, did you go all inclusive or? And they're like, yeah, we don't inclusive. And now they actually like you, because they're actually like, you're not different. You're not trying to be pushy. You're a nice person to talk to, right? So now when the owner's in, the way they're going to approach the owner to say someone keeps calling you is going to be way more positive, rather than being like, oh, this fucking prick keeps phoning in, he's annoying me, can you tell him to go away, I'm just trying to get on my job, hate people like this. Whereas, they saw the owner, hey, there's this guy Andre on the phone, do you know what, he's actually really funny, normally I wouldn't put him through, but yeah, he kind of makes me laugh. You called just to speak to him 5 minutes, he seems quite nice. Who's going to get a client, right? Me or you, it's going to be me, of course, right? Because I'm respectful and I'm a nice person to talk to with the front of house team. So just make sure over each time you're phoning, you're getting more and more ammunition, right? Because it is going to help you massively in the long run. What did I do here? Perfect. So, sometimes, or something I was always taught with cold calling was, with the front of house, they're most likely not going to give you the owner's details, right? But 1 out of 10 people will. This is something my old manager Chev taught me, right? He said, if you ask 10 people for their owner's personal number, 9 people will say no. 1 person's going to say yes, and you just need that 1 person to say yes. So he was like, make sure every single person, receptionist you ask for the owner's personal number and the owner's personal email. You're going to get rejected a lot, but you are going to get some good wins, right? So it's very, very important that when they say they're not here, you're like, oh, okay, is that a better number? I can reach them on the personal number, right? And they're going to be like, no, 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 yes. Then you can go get a client, right? Same with the email. You don't want to be getting info admin. Whenever someone gives me an info admin, I always laugh. I'm like, no, seriously, I need the personal email. And you say that to enough people, they're going to give you yeah, sure, all right. So that's another huge thing. You just want to make sure you're doing that each and every single time. Don't be intimidated. Now, I think I've missed something, How I missed something? Oh, okay, no, it's down there. All right, cool. So anyway, a huge mindset shift that I was taught when cold calling, and this is something I see in the SMMA community a lot, and I really get aggy with people, and I get super pissed off with people when they say this word, gatekeeper. So I want to give you a little bit of I'm going to give you a bit of like a Charlie Morgan style mindset manifestation woo stuff, right? We would say Charlie Morgan because he's just a G with all of this stuff, right? But something I learned about manifestation is what you think in your mind is going to come true, right? So if you think like you can't book no meetings, you're not going to book any meetings, are you? But if you think meetings are going to be easy to get, all I need to do is phone them, you're going to get loads of meetings booked in, right? So my point is, people use the word gatekeeper, right? And my old manager would go absolutely nuts if we was to refer to people as, the gatekeeper, the gatekeeper, the gatekeeper. It's like, one, what are they keeping you from? People are like, they're keeping me from the owner. No, they're not. They get paid to tell you to go away. Their job is just answer the phone. No, he's not here. He's sitting there. But they literally get paid every single day for God knows how long to tell you and me to go away. They know when the owner's in. They know his routine. They know his wife's name, his kids' names, what he's having for lunch, his favorite color, his birthday. They know everything. This person is now our new best friend. If we can make friends with the receptionist and get them to like us, we've got a map to the owner, right? They're going to walk us straight through the door. On the flip side, what you got to remember is we're in competition, right? We're in competition with F1 in our niche, and we're also in competition with all the big marketing companies that have hundreds of employees, and they work on auto dialers. They're not sitting there in their room making cold calls and like, I'm getting distracted. No, they're sitting there with a headset on, the phone's on auto dialer. Each time the call hangs up, the auto dialer comes back on and it's ringing again. They have no choice but to, hiya, you're right. They don't have all these distractions like you in your bedroom do because you're lazy, basically, right? So you're in competition with these people. Now, these companies have got people calling your ideal client from 9 till 6, repeatedly, whatever the word is, right? So there is something that helps you stand out. You don't work for someone else. You work for you. You can say whatever you want. You haven't got to follow a script. You haven't got to stick to this tone of voice. If they give an objection, you haven't got to raise your voice. You haven't got to do these things that we was always taught, like follow the script, follow the script. You can talk to them like a normal human being, and you can have a laugh with them, and you can make jokes with them. If they're being a bit funny with you, be funny with them. If they're trying to be rude, don't be rude to them, but have a laugh with them. Like, take a little bit, like in English we say take the piss. What I'm saying is just try have a laugh with them, If they're being blunt, be blunt. If they're being funny, be funny. If they're being happy, be happy. Like, you can mirror match this person, right? You can really have fun with it. These huge corporations can't do that because if one person messes up off that script, the whole company is now liable for that action. That company could get huge fines and lawsuits. So each person on the auto dialogue phone call has to stick specifically to the script. If not, they're getting fired and they're going home with a pissed off wife, mom, whatever, right? So, guys, the gatekeeper, the receptionist, the front of house, as I call them the experts. Now, a little tip for you guys as well is if the company is fairly big, right, and you go on their website and you can see there's 5 front of house staff members, right? I'll find the one who's been there the longest. And instead of asking for the owner, I'm just going to ask for them. I'm just going to say, hi, is Leslie the expert there? And they're like, yeah, it's Leslie, the expert. What do you mean expert? And I'm like, Leslie, like, bro, you've been there 10 years. Like, I saw on the website and then I checked your Facebook out and like, you're just on holiday as well. Like, I'm sure you're running things by now, right? So I'm guessing it's best to ask you. But they've never heard that. I don't know. I don't want to say I'm the one that invented this, but fuck it, I am the one that invented this. Like amount of people I talk this to, it works so well, right? Because I ain't going to speak to Leslie because Leslie knows everything, and rather trying to call the front of house where there's 5 people telling people like me to go away, and I'm just gonna get told to go away, right? I'm thinking, how can I get through to the owner? How can I get the owner to like me? If it's a larger company and it's a high ticket company, it's not just the owner that I have to impress. It's every single moving person or moving part into that owner's like space. So if I have to get through reception to the say HR, whatever it is, right, and then through to the owner, and then the owner has to go and speak to the managing directors and make sure they're all agreeing on everything. I have to start from the bottom and work my way up the chain. And it's like I just need to get people to smile. That's it. That's what I need to know. I just need to get people to smile because people in these big companies, they're sick of them. They hate them. They make their day so long and annoying. Trust me, I know. So it's very, very important that we start to build relationships moving up the chain all the way to the owner. Because this is another thing. If you lie to the gatekeeper, you keep phoning up and you're just rude and you end up just pissing her off so much she just gives the phone away. He needs to think realistically. She's giving the phone to the owner or she's passing the owners through. What is she going to say to that business owner? That who's on the phone and why they're calling? Think about it, right? So it's very important that that person likes you because they're going to give you a better recommendation when handing the phone over. It's going to go a long way, right? And again, this is with more the bigger companies, but it's just something I need you guys to think about if you actually want to see like good success and sign high ticket, right? Most people out there signing clients, and there's nothing wrong with that. My first client was like £200, right? Back in the day. But people are getting gassed signing clients for £200-300. I spoke to 2 boys last night. His goal was like he wanted to make £2,000 a month. Just one client. And he was like, yeah, but we sign clients at 250. Why? You can just, I said to him, you can just spend your time and energy elsewhere. Same time, same energy, same everything, but you can just get paid 10 times more. Like, what's the point? And it's the companies you're going for because you're scared to talk to a receptionist. You're scared to do X, Y, Z, right? You don't want to phone reception. You want to try and find the owner that's working outside. It's him on his own. He's got a dead social media, a dead website, but you want to speak to him because you can pay you a couple £100. It doesn't make any sense, right? So anyway, that's my advice in terms of the receptionist. Stop saying about gatekeeper because you're literally manifesting in your mind them keeping you from something, but this person is your best friend and they're going to get you straight through to the owner and they're going to be helping you close your first high ticket offer. This is that person. So no more gatekeeper stuff. Okay, cool. Like I mentioned as well, guys, if this person doesn't like you, you're never going to work with a business. And on the flip side, if this person loves you, you're going to have that client in no time. So it's really your foot in the door with the owner by impressing the receptionist team. When I was cold calling, I made it my absolute mission to build relationships with the front of house. Because when I was cold calling, like my first cold calling job working for Connects, I was having to cold call business owners to help them save money on their Wi-Fi. I think we saved them like £2 a month, whatever. Sometimes I was just good at talking to people, so people like me, and they were happy to. I got a lot. Is it you is going to be popping around because I really can't be asked with a rep to come around. Can you come around? And these people have never met me before. They don't even know what I look like. They can just hear my voice on the telephone. So I really made it my mission to impress the whole of the company through just a telephone. So just please make sure this is something you're learning, and you can read books about it. There's obviously that famous book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Don't quote me to any of the lines in the book, but the book can help you. I worked as a therapist for 3 years with my agency, so learning psychology is definitely a huge benefit. Just learn how to talk to people. If you're not good at talking to people, next time you go out and buy some milk from the shop or the store, just try to have a conversation with the person at the till and just try to have a laugh, just try to say something funny, just try to be funny. Just use random people on the street to have a conversation. If you walk past someone in the street and normally you're like, pretending them you can't see them. Be like, "Hi, mate, how's your day going? All right? Like, lovely weather." If you're in England, you're probably not going to say that, right? I mean, it's July and I'm wearing a tracksuit and it's raining. Well, it was raining. It looks like it's about to. But my point is, guys, go and practice people skills, right? If you want to get good at that, you can do it at anything. Now, if anyone can't get past the gatekeeper, the receptionist, you fucked it for yourself, and it's you that's manifested that outcome. So you need to stop manifesting bad shit into your life, and you need to start learning more about your mind. And I don't want to sound too woo woo, but if you can imagine it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. Shout out Bob Proctor, the OG for the whole mindset space, right? All the information that comes from all the gurus to the guru to the guru is all coming from that one person. I think he actually passed away, so RIP to Bob. But go and watch old Bob Proctor videos. If anyone doesn't know who that is, like I'll show you now. Proctor, this absolute G. This guy, Law of Vibration. You know that Secrets film on like Amazon or Netflix or whatever it is, right? He was the person behind that, I think. But yeah, he wrote the book, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me to all of this. I just watched his YouTube content from like 20, 30 years ago. Absolute OG. But yeah, if you want to improve your mindset with manifestation and stuff, and you could think about negative stuff, but you can't think about positive, I would just go straight to the source and get your information from that guy. Cool. Moving on. Anyway, so here we go. So the front of house, like I said, I can't even read my writing. I need to zoom in, man. My eyesight. Let me move my beautiful face. Oh, Jesus. Let me move my beautiful face over here. Cool. So the front of house's job is literally to not let people like you walk through the door. So if you lie to them, which I see a lot of people trying to do, you're never going to sign that client and the owner's not going to like you. I saw this a lot. I was guilty of it when I first started. I thought I would just try to say anything to get through to the owner, and that's actually really wrong. I see a lot of the young bucks, the young boys getting into SMA, just trying to talk absolute waffle to the people to try to get through. And what you need to remember is, say you do get through to the owner, right, and you've done whatever, you've lied and you've been rude or you've manipulated this person. Like I said, this person gets paid to tell you to go away. So if now they haven't done their job and the owner's in a bad mood and he's thinking, "Oh, you absolute bastards, I pay you to do this job, you can't even do it, you're fired, get out of my office," whatever, right? This person's got a family, you got to take care of, food on the table, bills are rising, no husband, whatever, he might have passed away. You don't know the situation, right? So now that person is at risk from not paying the rent, the family, and the food on the table because what? You wanted to get through to one client. There's a million, probably 100 million people that you can speak to, but you're so obsessed with that one person, bro. It's not that deep. So like, just don't lie, don't be manipulating, don't be a dickhead. You know, if you can't get through to an owner because the receptionist you can't get through, just phone someone else. It's not a big deal, is it? You know, if the receptionist doesn't like you, you're not gonna get through. So just long it off. Just go and speak to someone else, right? Cool. So back to the CRM anyway. My eyesight's getting a bit better. I think it's the sun, but back to the CRM anyway. The whole goal with the CRM is you want to work from right to left, and I'll explain what I mean in a sec. Like that's the goal, working from right to left, from hot to cold, right? So if we look at the pipeline here, I've given you guys like an example of what your pipe drive should look like, hence I've called it pipe drive. I've called it pipe drive. Which move this away. I've called it pipe drive template. So when I mean move from right to left, right, you want to start from here, waiting for payment, to demo call, to discovery call, to hot leads, to follow up, and then to your leads, right? The thing is, what most people do is they'll say a bunch of leads here. They'll start trying to focus on these to start pushing them up the ladder. That's actually the wrong way of doing things. You need to start here, right? But the goal over the next 3 or 6 months isn't to do that. The goal is to wake up in the morning and just call these people. Because these people agreed, they said yes, you're waiting for contracts to get signed, payments come through, whatever it may be, right? These are the people here that are going to be, how do I say this? They're going to sign up easier and quicker, right? And then you got obviously your sales call people, your demo call, whatever you want to call it, right? You've got your discovery call people and your hot leads, right? Again, 9 o'clock in the morning, you're calling all of these people trying to get the payments to come through, contract sign, etc., right? Once on that, these are the sales calls that are booked in. So these people need your help today or whenever the sales call is booked in, right? So you're going to start calling up with these people if it's booked in for today. You should know this by now, anyone watching this video, but every single morning, 9 o'clock comes, right? You're going to ring round all of the meetings that are booked in for that day, introduce yourself again, make sure they can still show up so you don't wait on the call like a lemon. And you want to start building some rapport and a relationship with these people. So they're now not talking to a random salesperson on the internet. They're talking to one of their friends on the internet, and they're going to have some fun and get the issue sorted. Huge difference, right? And then same with a discovery call. Like, you can really start warming people up to like you before they even get on the discovery and sales call. And then you've got some hot leads where people are like, yeah, phone back. I'm interested, but I just can't book a meeting at this time. Please call me back at this time, right? So these are your hot leads, right? And then they've got the people that are like, yeah, sure, I'm not free, call me back or whatever. They're not, you can tell they're not really that interested, but they haven't said no. And they haven't said yes, but they haven't said no. So then we're going to follow with these people. And these people don't even know who the fuck you are. They don't know you exist, right? So it's going to be so much more easier to get these people and these people to convert, and also these people, but these two people here, right, to convert than it is with these guys, right? So this one, I mean, work from right to left, hot to cold. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Hopefully that makes sense. You got any questions, just like talk to me in the comments, I guess. Cool. So anything else I want to say? No. Oh yeah, that's why I wrote here. That's why I can't use spreadsheets. I don't know how you navigate this in a spreadsheet. I guess you could have it in order, but again, you can set tasks and reminders, and spreadsheet, there's gonna be like loads of, you're gonna have to drag out like the little thingy so you can see all your notes. Like, anyone that does that, respectfully, like, big up yourself. I can't do that. I haven't got the patience for that. So yeah, just go and use a CRM. Cool. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, in terms of leads, a big mistake I see people making is burning through leads. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but the thing I was taught when I first started cold calling was not to go get more leads if you can't get a yes or no from every single person, right? So, yeah, if you've got, say you've gone and got 100 leads and you're going to go get 100 more, ask yourself why. Why do I need these more leads? Go over to your CRM and have I got a yes or no from every single person? So you can say 30 people said no, 50 people said no, right? 2 people said yes. So what about the other people? Oh, I called them, they didn't answer. How many times you called them? Yeah, I called them twice. You sure? Because they're a business owner, they're not just busy with their clients and their business. Do you not think that's a possibility? They usually get 10, 20 calls a day. They get your call once, maybe twice. But they get another number called 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Who do you think is going to be more likely to get a call back? Them. Right? So make sure if you're starting out brand spanking new and you're getting all your leads yourself and you're not going to outsource someone to do it for you, make sure when you do get the leads, you want a yes or no from every single person. And again, when I was cold calling, people would hear from me 10, 20, 12 times a day. I don't move on until I've got a yes or no from every single person. I'm not moving on, because I got a job to do. And I know I can get more meetings booked from 100 leads than I can with 1,000 leads in some cases, right? If you were putting me up against someone that wasn't as knowledgeable as me, I mean that in a sense, because they're going to burn through all the leads. And I'm going to focus on the same 100 leads, and the same people are going to hear from me over and over again, and they're going to start to like me or hate me, but they're going to book a call, right? So this is what I mean. Really, do not burn through your leads. In the job also as well, we would build up our own lead list. So we'd have like a booklet. You open the clicky things, and you got the 2 holes in the paper. I'm so dumb, right? But you put the paper in there, you click it back, and then you fold it over like a normal book, right? Because back in the day when I first started, this sounds so old. I think the company was just old school, but they didn't have computers. All the other jobs I worked at, they had computers, right? But this company didn't. They just had paper and a pencil and like an old phone that you would it's like one of them square phones, and you would have a headset, of course, but you would have to like pick up the phone and then put the phone back down to hang up, right? So like they would have like booklets full of leads, right? And for each different area of if the UK, it would be different colors. So you would go over to like the little storage cupboard, open the cupboard up, go get this colorful bit of paper, take it back down to your desk, and then you would like write with a pencil, like tick tick, like spoke to this person, whatever. And then they would give you a booklet full of like blank paper, right? And then over time, like if you had a conversation with that person, you would actually go and like write that person down in your bit of paper, like Simon Dre spoke to him at this time, this conversation, call him back at this time. So when you now get in the office in the morning, instead of going for the leads that everyone else is called from, you go to your own leads who know you, and you can start to build out relationships with them people, because that company understood if they speak to the same like rep or person each and every single time, these people are going to be more likely to book a call compared to against they might have heard from a company 100 times or 10 times a day, but it's a different person every single time. People like the more personal interaction and put more personal touch. So it's very important that you do build a good lead list. So what I mean by this is, guys, just to give you a clear example, is your follow-ups and your hot leads. You're going to have loads of notes and tasks and stuff, and you're going to start to build relationships with these people. And you might call someone now, but they might not sign up in 6 months' time. Whereas you might call someone tomorrow and they might sign up the next day, right? We don't know, but you need to keep the pipeline popping, you know? So yeah, that's really what I mean. I said about when I was first starting out. Anything else I said here? Okay, cool. Yeah. So in terms of like the fun facts, I call it, you can call it whatever you want, right? But I call it a fun fact. Over time of speaking to these people, right, and especially with the bigger companies, right, like the more high ticket companies, you're not going to get through to the owner on the first call and close him, right? It's not that realistic. So like these people are going to want to hear from you and speak to you more and learn more about you and stuff like that. And so they're going to be hella busy. So trying to get a time and date from them, even a lot of people going for like construction type niches like kitchen and windows, kitchen and bathroom fitters is like a popular niche at the moment with the space. And what people don't understand about these niches are the owner's most likely on site. He's most likely speaking to the clients. And he's always getting calls from new jobs and people like you're coming into their home. So times are different and times change, right? It's common to happen. So you trying to get a specific time and date from that person, it's also one tricky, it's very difficult for him to give you a good time and date. And two, within the next 25 minutes, it could change, you know? So you're going to be forced to keep on that person and build a relationship, because it's going to get to the point where that person has Bob over the road, gets loads of customers for his door, and him and Bob go for a coffee, and he's like, yeah, I tried this TikTok thing. And he's like, oh, Andre, he keeps calling me every single day. He can do that for me. And now next time I call, he calls me. There's already been rapport there. There's already been a bit of trust there. And it's like, cool, I need your help today. Let's do it. You know, based on the other people that are calling him, they've called him once. They call him once a day, once every few days, whatever. And they don't build rapport. They don't keep track of the conversation. They aren't as much fun to talk to, right? Who's going to get the client? Of course, I'm going to get it, right? And I'm thinking long term with it. So it's just very important that you keep a good record of people. And there's a difference between making like $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month to actually making like 50, 60, $100,000 a month, right? And the big companies I work for are making hundreds of thousands of pounds a month. This is something they all taught us in with each employee working for them. This is like how they prided their business, right? So, yeah, to me, it's just very important that you do that. Anything here says best of company. All right, cool. So also have leads as well. I delete it because it's not that important. But with leads, if you are going to get the leads yourself, don't make the mistake I see everyone doing, and it's spending every single day sourcing leads. That's a complete and utter waste of time. If you are going to source leads, the only thing you should do in order to be successful with lead sourcing is have one day a month where you don't do anything with your day apart from shower and brush your teeth. Then you just do leads. So you don't bang gym, you try not to eat as long as possible that day, right? You maybe fast all day, for instance. You don't have any plans. All your plan is from like 8 till 10 o'clock at night is to source leads. And you can source for 3 hours, break for 15 minutes, for 3 hours, break 15 minutes. You can do it like that so you can be more focused with it. But you're just sourcing leads, like anyone can do that, right? And the reason that's important is you can just focus on one task and get that task done extremely well. So now on that day, I promise you, if you sit there for like 12 hours a day, you're going to get like thousands of leads, you know? And when people come to me like, yeah, I've got 100 links, you're shutting there for 8 hours a day. Bro, what the fuck are you doing with your life? How is that fucking possible? And then you check their phone screen time and they've been on fucking Instagram and TikTok for hours. Make it make sense. You can spend hours on TikTok, but you can't spend hours making money. Make it make sense. Come on. Just gonna have some zip of my coffee. Cold coffee now. Cool. Anyway, cool. I would personally find someone. If I was starting out now again, I would go and find someone to do it for me. I wouldn't do it myself. But I mean, I've got obviously the capital to do it and the knowledge to do it, right? Well, what I will say is, if I had to start back where I started from, the same situation, the same person, the same mindset, information, knowledge, whatever, I was in my house share, my shared accommodation, sharing a bathroom and a kitchen, getting my food stolen out the fridge. I was working at a real estate agent's doing cold calling, appointment setting, funnily enough. You know, this is why I'm teaching you guys about cold calling, appointment setting, because I've fucking done it for years. But if I was starting back in that situation, I would definitely have to find the leads myself, because I used to spend all my money on weed, you know, and then spend all my money on munch, and then I was broke. You know, I'm not gonna lie, that was me how I was like 4 years ago. So yeah, if I was in that situation, of course I would have to sit there and find leads. So if you are gonna sit there and find leads, the last Sunday of every single month, schedule it in, lead sourcing day. You're not doing anything apart from like sourcing leads and booking them into your CRM. That's all you're doing on that day. So that's just my advice anyway. So guys, this is the first bit of the training. We've pretty much gone through quite a lot. I mean, I've been 15 minutes. So anyone that's actually stuck around, like, shout out you. I'm just going to pause this video and load up the next chapter. If anyone's been listening to D-Block's new album, if you're from America and you haven't heard of D-Block Europe, go and check them out. Cool, guys. So we're back. So this little bit here is how to improve your sharp rate. Obviously, when you're cold calling, a mistake that happens a lot is people book meetings, but no one shows up. Have you ever wondered why that happens? Like, have you ever wondered? Because I know it happens to a lot of people, because it happened to me when I first started out. A lot of the times, people just feel sorry for you, and they're like, yeah, sure, I'll book a meeting. And they know when they don't show up, you're not going to call them back because you're new. You know, they respect everyone doing their thing, rah. But like, they'll say, yeah, I'll show up at this time. They don't show up at this time. They never hear from you again. Perfect. I've got him away. Instead of telling you, look, mate, just fucking leave me alone. You know, it's easier to say that. It's more of a cop out, isn't it? So anyway, if you can't get people to show up to your meetings, I'm literally going to show you exactly how to do everything now for free. I'm going to give you so much value, right, in this bit here. And I promise you, this is going to increase your conversion rate probably by like 80-90%. Like, it's no joke. This is fucking sick. And I'm going to do it all for free. So just make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. But anyway, now, if people don't show up to the call, it's always your fault. Don't ever blame anything else. You need to take full responsibility, because this is your mistake, right? So first of all, take accountability. Second of all, stop fucking sending Calendly confirmations, you absolute donut. Stop sending Calendly confirmations. Turn your Calendly confirmation off. Turn that off. Turn it fucking off. Get it off now. Right now, pause this video, go over to Calendly and turn that shit off. It's not acceptable, right? What you want to do is go and create like a draft or a template. If you use Google Calendar, you can save it as like a draft or template, and you can quickly like go to your email, press compose or whatever it's called, and then like go to the draft you want, select the draft, and you can edit it to fit that person, right? This is what we're going to do, guys. So please stop fucking sending out Calendly invites. We're actually going to be sending a personal email to each and every single person that books in. Like I said here, please stop sending Calendly invites. Stop doing it. There's going to be some lazy people who are like, oh, I'm just going to customize my Calendly template to this bit here. Go suck. I probably shouldn't say that. Don't do that. Do not do that, right? Stop doing it. Don't be so fucking lazy, right? It's so annoying. So annoying. From my point of view, and from the owner's point of view, who probably gets fucking 100 of these a week, how are you going to stand out? How are you going to be different? You know. So this is the template that I need each and every single person to use. And go subscribe to my YouTube channel, because no one else is fucking giving their templates away like this. No one. I haven't seen it. You have to pay for this shit, right? So I'm going to show you for free. So first of all, top line is going to be, hiya John. My name's Andre, but you're going to put here, right? Hiya John, Stephen here. Hiya John, Gertrude here. Hiya John, Catherine here. Whatever your name is, right? I say hiya. I'm English. I come from the village. My mom and everyone says, hiya, you're right, hiya. we say hiya. If you don't say hiya, don't say hiya. If you say hey, say hey. If you say hello, however you say hello to someone, be very aware of who you're talking to as well. If you're talking to a lawyer, probably want to be a bit more formal. If you're talking to someone who owns a car detailing place and puts body kits on a car, be like, yo man, know your audience, right? So just know your audience. In terms of subject line, people are like, oh, what am I putting on the subject line? How am I going to get people to go for it? Well, they just spoke to you on the phone, so why would they not? Don't put anything. I don't mean to offend anyone, but don't put anything gay on your subject line. Just put this: "Hiya, John Andre here," with a little laugh, waving emoji, right? Easy. You don't even have to put a subject line. The subject line doesn't fucking matter. You just spoke to them on the phone. Anyway, as you can see, I get super pissed about this. So this is obviously the first line. Now the second bit is, I just wanted to personally reach out to you again and say thank you for booking the call. And I'm really excited to speak with you on whatever time and day you booked me in, Monday, 2 p.m., for instance, right? Super simple. I just wanted to make this video for you so you can get a chance to prepare for the call and learn a little bit more about me and what I do before the call, as I know it will really help you out. This bit here is more important than this bit here. Now, the reason I say that is, if you just send a video saying, hey, yeah, watch this video, they may or may not watch it. They probably aren't going to watch it, right? So you need to give them a reason to watch it. And now, guys, you can really innovate on this. You think this video is going to be sick, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. Put that, test it out for you. See what works best for you. A great marketer, from a normal marketer and a great marketer, they'll take this template and be like, yo, bro, I'm going to put this bit in here and it's going to be so much better. Go do that, because you probably do it better than me. You never know. And that was a big bird. But guys, give them a reason why they should watch this video. This video is really going to help you out. This video is going to be sick. You're going to love this. This video is going to do this thing for you. So you need to get them to watch this video, right? And then you can insert your Loom video here. And if you're sending an email with the Loom video, it comes up with the little play button and it looks so much better, right? As when you're sending it on Facebook, I'm pretty sure, right? So with your Loom video, Andre, what do I say in my Loom video? No, this is a good question, because for every single niche, it's going to be slightly different, right? So a little bit of homework for you guys. If you're whatever niche you're working with, go find every single marketing agency in your niche and go and find their thank you for booking call. I'm not telling anyone to book in loads of people's calendars and waste their time. I'm not saying that. I'm saying just go find their thank you for booking call. However you have to do that, I'm not to blame. I wouldn't have done it for my niche. You got to do what you got to do, right? But just go find out, go watch all of them videos, what people do in your niche, and think, all right, cool. How can I remix this but make it better? That's the thank you for booking video. 2 minutes long. No more than 2 minutes. If you want to make it personal for each person, you can do that, because it's only going to take you 2 minutes to record. But if you do want to make an evergreen one, you're more than welcome to do that as well. If I was brand new starting out, I would just do it personal. It's going to take me 2 minutes out of my day. And you can call the person by the name, wave, be mindful of your background, right? The background isn't huge important, but if you got your wardrobe or your bed, whatever, right? Just try tilt the camera up a bit so they can just see your face, right? Have some good natural lighting, right? Even if you got to stand and hold your, back in my shared room days, I would stand up with my laptop in my hands like this, and I would have it near the window so the natural lighting's good, right? Not that it makes a huge difference, but yeah, just be mindful, right? Cool. And then you're gonna say, so yeah, I got hiccups from the coffee. Then you're gonna say, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me a text or an email. You can leave your mobile number here again. I personally would leave my WhatsApp, right? You can say, if you have any questions, feel free to WhatsApp me or send me an email back. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a text. If you have any questions, you want to give them more of a personal interaction, right? Other companies will go and leave their logo at the bottom. They'll have their company name, and fuck that. When you're first starting out, the biggest thing you can leverage is yourself as a personal touch, and every single business owner knows when they first started out. Someone I got taught back in the door to their sales job is, when you're doing bad, if you mess up your pitch, be like, oh God, I'll be honest, this is my first day. I don't suppose you remember your first day, do you? It's my 100th day. Right? And they're like, oh yeah, I remember my first day. Come in, I'll put a kettle on. How much is it? This much? All right, cool, I'll sign up. That's what happened a lot of the time, because people respect you trying to put yourself out there and do something with your life. Every single business owner that you're speaking to has been in a situation where they've had to step into the unknown, And seeing someone like yourself doing that and having fun and smiling and really like they can see, wow, this person is going to be someone like I actually want to spend time with because he reminds me of me, or I wish I was like that when I was younger, or whatever it may be, right? This is what's going to give you the unfair advantage over all of the huge corporations with their hundreds of employees on the auto dialer, right? And then all you're going to say is, guys, here is a link to the community. Like I said, I'm building the best kitchen remodeling marketing group the internet has ever seen, right? I don't know kitchen remodeling. I was just giving this to one of the students and it fucking slapped. Absolutely slapped Arini, right? And this is something I do all the time with my agency, right? And when I first started out, you need to be honest, right? If you just made a group and you say, yeah, I'm gonna send you an invite because I've got the best group for kitchen remodelings ever, and the owner joins, there's two people in there, you and him, it's gonna be a bit awkward, isn't it? So you need, when you're calling them, and again, my cold calling script is on YouTube. Like you can go and find it on my channel. There's a couple videos on there with my script, and you'll see what I'm talking about, right? Go like that video. But my point is, guys, tell them, if you're brand new starting out, tell them I'm on a mission to make the best marketing group for kitchen remodelers that the world has ever seen. So can I send you an invite for that? Yeah. They're not going to say no, are they? If they're booking a call with you, they're not going to say no, are they? So put this group on your email. So now each email that goes out, your community is building and building and building and building and building, right? Very, very important. It's very, very, very important. I recommend using Facebook. It's better than LinkedIn in terms of communities. LinkedIn groups are better for outreach. Facebook groups are better for inbound. So go and create both, but just know LinkedIn is outreach, Facebook is inbound, right? And yeah, speak soon. See you tomorrow. See you later. Goodbye. Farewell. Whatever you're going to say, right? This is your now email confirmation thing. And you can send this by text message as well, and a WhatsApp message, Go send it on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever you're going to communicate with this person, right? Don't spam up all their socials. If you tell them, I'm going to send you on Facebook, send it on Facebook. Send it to the email as well, whatever, right? But you want to get this person to show up. So you need him to see it and watch the video. And if he watches the video and decides this isn't for him, he can just cancel. And then you don't wait on the call like an absolute numpty. Cool. Now, the work is not done yet, guys. I'm going to have to hurry this up because I've got a consultation in 7 minutes. But the work is not done, right? I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm not Italian. But find the prospect on LinkedIn, Facebook, and then add them and get them into your group so they can start seeing you every day working hard and you're fresh on their minds. Super important. You get this person straight into the funnel, right? Because nothing I was taught when working for the companies is if they don't watch 8 hours of your content, they're not going to become a client. Every single person I've ever worked with before they've got on a sales call has watched all of my content, me with my clients, me having fun, me working hard, me being the best version of myself, me being a bit silly sometimes. They've got to know and understand me as a person. And when they're signed up, it's been the easiest sign up I've ever had, right? So getting on a sales call, now you got to sell yourself, the program, the offer, you got to sell everything. You're sitting there for an hour, 2 hours. Do the hard work before you get on a call. So when you get on a call, straight down to the money. Straight down to the money. When you watch good salesmen on YouTube and Instagram, this is what they do. They have a huge, or they're not a huge following, like a good following on the internet. And now when they get on the call, they already know them, they already like them, they already trust them, straight to the money, right? Now, find their company page on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever. And on the day of the meeting, go and like, comment something. You don't have to comment if it sounds a bit fucking corny, but go and like something. So before the meeting, go give them a few likes, a few comments, go follow their TikTok, comment on their TikTok. You want to be fresh on their mind the day of the meeting, right? Because email confirmations aren't enough. Don't rely on confirmations. Don't rely on automations. Rely on the personal human interaction to get them to show up. Cool. The day of the meeting as well, as I said earlier, guys, you want to log into your CRM every single morning. To me, it's fucking obvious. To you, some of you know it's not, but every single morning, into your CRM, cool. Who have I got sales calls with today? Cool. Call all these people. Who have I got discovery calls with? Call all of these people. Who am I waiting for payment? Obviously, you're going to call these as well, right? So make it your mission, right? Your mission is to call every single lead that was booked in for that day and let them know that you're super excited or you're really excited or you're so excited or whatever you're going to say, right? To speak to them and give them more of a reason to actually get on that call, right? And if you do this, you'll go from having no shows to people getting on the call early. Promise you, right? And this will give them a chance to rebook any no-shows that they can't make it if something's come up. Again, you're not waiting on the call like a lemon. You can just get on the call. Happy days. Happy days. Cool. I know my phone's going to ring in like 4 minutes, but anyway, we'll keep moving forward. So when it rings, I'll just pause the video. Cool. So what to do when what do you do when they don't show up? Because you're going to get no-shows, so it's good to prepare for this and actually have a plan and a solution for no-shows rather than just being like, oh, no-show, definitely shit, what do I do? And going like busting your nut or something, Again, I hear so many crazy stories. But my point is, so when they don't show up, this is what you need to do, right? And it's going to happen a lot. When you're booking 50 to 100 meetings a month, like I should really change this to a week. Like a month is a joke, bro. A week, right? When you're actually performing like an agency should, right? And again, if you're like, oh my God, can't even get 50 meetings a month, bro, fucking just drop me a DM, man, for fuck's sake, do yourself a favor. But again, I come from a huge sales background, right? And when I've worked for the marketing agencies, I was always doing the sales and training the setters and making sure everyone was closing and setting, right? So this is just my forte, I guess. But so I'll stop plugging myself. One, you need to learn to love no-shows. Like there's so many great communities I've seen, right? I'm not gonna shout anyone out, but there's so many great communities I've seen on like Discord and stuff where people have no-show groups. Like that's fucking genius. Like whoever thought of that, like shout out you. Like your mom must be proud. Like no-shows happen a lot. People get really negged out by it and like demotivated, whatever the word is, right? But when you build a community where no-shows are a thing and you take a picture of you waiting for them and not waiting, you can talk to other people like, yeah, I had that as well. Bro, whoever thought that, fucking genius. Like, that's sick. I'm going to have to steal that idea. Well, I have stolen that idea. But my point is, right, my manager at my old door-to-door job says, ironically, when one door closes, another one opens. Now, this is something I took from all of my sales roles, all up until now. One door closes, another one's going to open. Someone says no, someone doesn't show up, someone rejects me, whatever. The next yes is somewhere close. So it's so close, right? So just know you get a no-show, think to yourself, yes, bro, I'm getting a yes today. It's coming this week, it's coming soon. Start getting gassed up for it. Start thinking in your mind, this yes is coming, and you can actually feel it in your mind, right? Let me pause this. All right, so anyway, as I was saying here, when you're booking like 50 to 100 meetings a week, and really this is not impossible. I don't want people to look at this and think it's like a hygiene standard either. You can do this with like 3 appointment setters. Like it's really nothing like difficult at all. But yeah, my point is anyway, my old manager used to say when one door closes, another one opens. So you want to have that in your head. Every time someone doesn't show up, every time someone says no, ideally when someone doesn't show up, you just want to think the next person is around that corner. You got another meeting booked in. That's your sign up. This is God in disguise, right? Now, with that said, your time is very, very important. Okay, very important. Even when you're just starting out and you don't feel important, I promise you, your time is so valuable, right? So, what I need you to do when someone doesn't show up, if you're scheduling the call for say 30 minutes, it's a discovery call. You now have 30 minutes of your time about to be wasted. So you need to put that time to good use. So what you're going to do is you're obviously going to call someone like 9 o'clock in the morning to make sure they can make the call. You're also going to give them a call like 15 minutes before to make sure they're ready, they can jump on. All right. Now, if you get to the call and they're not there, wait 5 minutes and then give them another call. Right. Now, if you've gave them a call, it's 1:05, for instance, right, and they're not there, what you want to do is give them one call every 5 minutes. So they're going to get how many, like 5, 10, 15, like they're going to get like 6 calls from you, right, in that half an hour. So one phone call every 5 minutes for that whole slot. If the slot's booked in for an hour, I'll call them every 5 minutes for an hour. It's locked in for 2 hours, which I doubt it is. Call them then, because you don't want your time to be wasted. So if someone's booked in to speak to me, I'm going to speak to you. Even if I have to call you 100 times so you can give me, hey, bro, it's not for me. Like, I've thought about it. I don't want to do this, whatever. That's cool. Like, at least I've got a no, right? Yes or no is absolutely fine. It's not going to change my life either way, right? Just like it's not going to change your life. You're about to get your first client. It's sick. It's not going to change your life. You make 1,000 from a client, 2,000 from a client, 10,000 from a client. It's not going to change your life. Right? Having 10, 50 clients will, right? Or even 10 clients will massively change your life. But having one client sign up or not sign up, it's not going to change your life, you know? So you need to remember this. Like, if they do sign up, it's great, it's cool, whatever. It's not life changing. If they don't sign up, it's cool, it's great. It's not going to change your life, right? But do not waste your time someone wants to waste your time, like don't waste your own time, right? So make sure you're calling them and you're being persistent. You being persistent will win over someone, because if they're booked in to speak to you, they've booked in to speak to someone else. So if you chase them up for every 5 minutes and the other person doesn't, they're gonna want their work outsourced by someone that shows they want it more, right? Because as a business owner, I will look for people that go the extra mile, right? This is something I look for, right? So just make sure you don't give up, right? You're always being persistent, right? Now, in the result that they don't show up at all, and you've called them every 5 minutes, 30 minutes, they haven't shown up, you obviously need to log it in your CRM. You need to log down how many times you called them, and then every single day, morning, evening, morning, lunchtime, end of the day, evening time, you're calling that person. And you're going to call them 3 times a day, every single day until they answer. If you call them for like a month straight and have an answer, this is why we have 2 phones or 3 numbers or whatever, right? Because you're going to then call them on a different number at a completely different time to what you've ever phoned. And then you're going to speak to that person. And when you speak to that person, don't be funny with them. Don't be upset. Speak to them like nothing's happened. Like you're oblivious. Like, hi, mate, you're right, Andre. Like, you good? Kind of thing. You want to talk to them like nothing's happened, because it's going to completely throw them off, right? And you're going to gain a lot of respect by doing this as well, right? Because they know they just can't get rid of you. And they're going to have to say no to you, or they're going to sign up. Either way is fine. Again, your life's not going to change, right? So on to the next point. The more you try, the more results you're going to get, right? In this space, right? I've only done SMA. I don't know about the other spaces, but most people cry about it. They will cry, oh, they didn't show up. Oh, more important. Oh, fuck them. No, I'm not phoning them back. You're not more important than them then. You're not. You need to swallow your ego. You need to swallow your pride, especially when first starting out. It's a mistake I made. Like, someone didn't show up and I'll take it to heart and I'll get upset and I'll be like, yeah, fuck them anyway. No, not fuck them, fuck you, because you need to kiss some ass and work very hard and eat some bad meals. You need to eat some dirt or whatever, however people say it, right? In order to get where you need to go. You're not just going to start a marketing agency and everyone's going to show up for you and everyone's going to treat you with respect and blah, blah. It's not going to happen like that. You honestly need to kiss some ass and you need to take some shit, right? So someone doesn't show up, don't take it to heart. Just keep on your grind, because this person here is now they're on this side here, right? And you want to push them over to like waiting for the payment or clients onboarded, right? And I should have made a no show section as well. I forgot to do that. So yeah, make a no show section between like these ones here, because these people are you can push them over the line as well, right? So just keep on your pipeline, guys. Like, don't be getting emotional about it. Don't be getting upset about it. And like I say to the guys as well, like, they're not your girlfriends. They're your ticket to freedom. So because you're being persistent, they're not going to get turned off. They're not going to be the icks. They're not going to give you the ick or whatever, right? It's not that situation, right? They're not your goal. They're your ticket to freedom. Imagine this, yeah. This is how I think about it. This person, if I get this person, I'm one step closer to never having to go to my job. Imagine this, you sign that one client for £1,500 a month and you get paid £1,700 a month at your job. You can quit your job. And now you can spend 12, 15 hours on your agency, and within the next month, you'll probably make 10 grand a month because you've got all the time in the world to now focus on your agency, right? So each person is a ticket to freedom. So make sure you never give up on that ticket. Make sure you never lose that ticket, right? This is how I want you guys to think about it. Now, I've personally never been blocked by anyone. I've had some people get very pissed off with me continuing to phone in, and they say, well, I didn't answer because I didn't show up because I'm obviously not interested, am I? And I'll say, I don't know that, do I? You booked in a time with me, we had a conversation, you said you wanted to speak at this time, so how am I meant to know you're not interested? I'm not psychic, am I? I've openly said, well, I'm not psychic, am I? I'm not a genie. I can't see into the future. I'm not a mind reader. Like, you booked in a time and you didn't show up. So I'm going to call you until you give me a yes or no. It's just the type of person I am. I don't quit. And once I said that, they've been fine with me. But they're still not interested, which is fine. My life hasn't changed, right? So don't overthink the situation, right? Anyway, on to the next part. So do you guys know who you're competing with? Now, this is one that when I tell people this, like, it's always the new people when starting out, right? They have all these for instance, a guy, I won't say his name, but a guy signed up with our mentorship about 2 days ago. And when I asked him, like, bro, what's the issue? Like, you're not dumb. He's a smart kid. Like, he knows what to do. I'm like, why don't you just do it? He was like, well, I need to be honest. Like, I make I make like 20 phone calls and then one person or two people says yes. And then I just have a habit of just sitting down on my phone all day. And I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. Like, how much weed do you smoke? And he's like, I don't smoke weed. I was like, what? I was like, so what do you do? Like, do you game? No, I don't game. You don't smoke weed, you don't game. But what do you do with your life then? He's like, well, I'm going to uni next year. I'm like, yeah, that's good for you, bro. We're in July. And my point is, like, people get a little win and then quit. Or they get no wins and then quit. And the conversation I had with him, I was like, bro, do you even know who you're competing with? He's like, no, what do you mean? Like, bro, you're in competition with people. You understand that, right? And he was like, no, I don't. What do you mean? And this is what I explained to him, right? So, first of all, you're competing with people like me. And, like, if you're brand new starting out and you're lazy, you get demotivated, you're like, oh, I don't feel like doing the work today, so I don't do it. You're fucked. You're fucked. Like, if it was me versus you and you're that type of person, you are getting rinsed. You're going to feel so shit, you don't even open your laptop in the morning, right? If I have a shit day, I'm not going to sleep. This is my thing. There have been times, of course, I'm human, I do sleep, right? But my point is, there's times where I don't book meetings. I'm not going to sleep. I will start up to 3 in the fucking morning and start calling all the USA people. Like, my friends that know me, like my agency friends that know me, know the reason they asked me to come on and teach their sales teams and their selling teams and their closing teams is because I ain't fucking quitting. I ain't taking no for an answer. If I don't get a result, I'll stay up. Like, there's been times where, like, it happens because it's meant to happen, right? Like, the appointment setting team don't book any meetings today. I'm not going to get aggy or pissed off for them. It's life. It happens. But when they're in bed sleeping and they're getting ready for the next day, I'm still awake and I'm booking in meetings. I don't give a fuck. I will get back in the field. I've got 5 appointment setters. I'll get back in the field while they're all in bed and I'll book the meetings. And when they come in the morning, I'm like, yo, boys, I'll book the meetings. This is what worked for me. I think this is what we can improve on. And they're like, what, yo? And then they respect me more, right? But my point is, guys, if you're lazy or demotivated or you're relying on motivation or you get a win and you quit, if you can openly admit that I'm a little bit lazy and I can improve on that, you're competing with people like me. When I first started out, I didn't start my own agency because I really wanted a marketing agency. It was coronavirus lockdown. I was at risk from losing my job. Mum wasn't working. Stepdad lost his job because he worked at the airport. I had to do something ASAP. The reason I got my first client in 2 weeks, is because I had to make it happen. If not, I was fucked. I'm not the only person going through that type of situation. There's millions of people every day going through that situation. They're your competition. You're not going to win against them if you're that type of person, right? So that's one type of person you're competing with. Now, the second type of people I'm competing with is something I mentioned earlier, is that it's the marketing companies. These marketing companies have 100+ employees who work round the clock, and they're not sitting in their bedroom with their mobile phone thinking, oh, I'm so distracted today. Oh, I'm so distracted. I can't focus. I'm not motivated. They're not thinking that. They don't have time to think that. Why? Because they've got a headset plugged in. They've got screen here, screen here. They've got hundreds around people around the office. They can all hear talking and stuff. So they're not going to sit there on their phone doing nothing while everyone around them's talking and working, are they? Because it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel natural. So they don't do that. Plus, they're an auto dialer. So when the call hangs up, when they press hang up on that person, within 30 seconds, the phone's now ringing someone else again. They have no time to think. And the thing is with salespeople, is in these sales environments, you hit your targets. You don't hit your targets in more than 3 days, you get kicked out. They'll kick you out of the office. I've been in so many, all my sales jobs, every single week, there's a new person in, new person out, new person in, new person out, new person in, new person out. But you guys at home don't hit your targets and you're like, yeah, it's all right, I'm just going to lay down. If you was in a sales environment where you're having to book appointments for a company, they would kick you the fuck out. So how are you letting yourself fail? You need to kick yourself out. I would punish myself. Actually punish myself. And I know this is going to be very controversial because other people are like, oh, if you have a hard day, it's okay. Like, don't worry about it. And tomorrow, and if you've done a little bit and you tried your best, it's okay. No, it's fucking not okay. I wouldn't eat some days. To punish myself, I'd be like, I'm not eating today. And it's so late at night, I haven't booked a meeting, I'm tired as fuck. And I'm going to have 3 hours sleep tonight because I'm going to get up and I'm going to punish myself. I'm going to be so tired, I don't want to go through that again. Because you learn from pain. You don't learn from pleasure. Pain is what you learn from. And we're more motivated by pain than we are pleasure. So the way I can explain it is, everyone wants a fucking Lamborghini, everyone wants a Ferrari, but not many people actually can go get one from scratch. But F1 has to pay rent, and F1 pays their rent. And if you don't pay rent, you're on the streets. So why is it F1 can pay their rent at the end of the month and no one can go and get the Ferrari? And I know there's a big price difference. I understand that. But my point is, we work harder and we're more quote unquote motivated and we're more consistent and we're just more harder working when we're going to lose, not when we're going to win, right? So if you're not hitting your own daily targets, take your phone away, take your social life away, take your girlfriend away, take your clothes away, take your shoes away. Take something away that you don't want, you need in your life to make you happy or to live or survive. Don't eat that day. You're not going to die. You're not going to dehydrate, whatever. But it would really benefit you to drink some water, right? Find something that you can use to punish yourself so you make sure you don't make the same mistakes over and over again, right? Because again, guys, so if you were to come and work for an agency like mine that's based around sales and appointments and sales, right? You don't hit your targets more than 2-3 days in a row, you make an excuse. Goodbye. This role is not for you. No hard feelings. It's not for you. Make sure you have that in mind. If you're not doing that for yourself, like if you're new to SMA as well, right, and you're new to sales, I recommend you going and working in a sales environment for a couple of weeks. Go and work in a cold calling center where it's commission only. Go and work on the doors where it's commission only. And then you'll see how people operate and you'll see what happens if you don't hit your targets. You're not going to get anywhere by not tasting your targets. Targets are there for a reason. Daily targets, weekly target, monthly targets. You want to quit your job. You want to get that Audi R8. You want to make this amount of money a month. But you can't hit your daily target. And you're not doing anything about it. And then you're going out on the weekend and, yeah, you know, I really want to like have my agency, but Ibiza. I want to go Ibiza. I can go Ibiza whenever the fuck I want now. I could move to Ibiza, right? It would destroy my business and my life. I know that, of course. I'd be a raging fucking alcoholic if I lived in Ibiza, right? But there's people out there that really want an agency, but do Ibiza with the boys, you know? Whereas me, I've worked hard this past few years. I could go buy a sick crib in Ibiza and go live there, you know? So do you want to just go party for a week and have some fun for a week? Or do you want to put yourself through loads of pain and then you have the opportunity to go and live wherever the fuck you want to live? Does that make sense? Cool. Hopefully that makes sense anyway, guys. So next, you're all against people that are going to lose their job, right? And as I said, we're more motivated by pain than we are pleasure. So like, for instance, in cold calling environments, they monitor the amount of calls, the conversations you've had, and the amount of like times you've closed and the amount of appointments you booked and the show up rate as well. So like you may be booking loads of calls, but if no one's showing up to the appointments, they're going to look through all the calls and think, hold on a minute, this person's not saying what we need him to say in order to actually get qualified people on the call. So people are booking, but they're not showing up. You're gone. They were getting kicked out, you know? You may get a warning and they might help you, of course. I understand that, right? But you're going up against people that are going to lose their job. They're now at risk of not paying rent, not being able to have a social life, not being able to call in front of their girlfriend, not being able to put food on the table for their mum. But you guys in your bedroom have a hard day and you're like, do you know what? I'm just going to go downstairs and get some food. You know what? I'm just going to go on TikTok. Let me just go on my Xbox. Let me just fucking bust a nut. And you're competing with people against me. You're never going to win, you know? So if you are that type of person, it's probably best not to even bother. You know, go and sort your head out first and then come and play. Because you're competing with us guys, right? You're competing with, I don't want to mention any like YouTuber's name, but go on YouTube and type in SMA. You're competing with all of us, you know? Like you're being the type of person you are and you think you're going to get some clients. You're not going to get one client. So remember this, guys. Competition is huge. So you need to be the best competitor you can, right? Now, guys, join me next week and I'm going to show you how to find gangster cold callers, right? Because I understand not everyone you can't do this on your own. You know, if you're on your own, you're only going to be booking like 20 meetings a week, maybe 30, depending on how good you are. If you're brand new, 10 meetings a week is fucking terrible. I get a message every single day. I don't want to draw anyone out. I got a message yesterday. Hey, what would you do if we can bring you in an extra 30 qualified meetings a month? I replied with nothing. I booked more than that in the past 3 days. And they're like, actually, well, we can help you get more, but well, fuck off. No, you can't. If you could help me get more, you would have said that, right? Every single day I get a message. What can you do with 1 extra client a month? Nothing. What can you do with 10 extra clients a month? Nothing. Don't fucking pay my rent. How am I going to buy a Lambo with that? I'm not. You know? So agencies are selling you, and we can help you get an extra 30 meetings a month. 30 a month. Go get a job. It's not worth it. So if you guys want to learn how you can book 100, 200, 300 appointments a month by building a gangster cold calling team with an agency, next week, join me. And again, guys, every single Wednesday at 2 p.m. London time, we host cold calling workshops. If you want to jump in the workshop, just DM me. And if you get there early with all the requirements that are met, I will be cold calling for your agency and booking some meetings in just to show you how a gangster does it. But anyway, guys, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I drop a hell of more game than anyone else on here. So let me know what you want to see next. Roll safe.